across a row or diagonal. So really, as long as you can like connect any four, we will honor your card. You want to hold that? All right, just four in a row. Say four in a row.
Four in a row.
Ready?
Ready.
Number four.
Number 4, El Catín.
Number 10, El Árbol.
Number 10, El Árbol.
Number 22.
Number 22, El Bota.
Number 38.
Number 38, El Mapache.
El Apache.
El Apache.
Number 9.
Number 9,
El Barril.
El Barril.
Very good, chica. Number 7.
Number 7, el
La Escalera.
La Escalera.
Very good, chica. Number 32.
Number 32, El Músico.
Number 37.
Number 37, El Mundo. Is anybody close?
Number 40. El Alacrán.
Number 40, El Alacrán.
Number 31. Las Jaras.
Number 31, Las Jaras.
Las Jaras.
Las Jaras.
Say Nani. I said Las Jaras.
I said Nani, Las Jaras.
27.
27, El Corazón.
Woo! Say yay.
Yay!
Lotería.
Lotería.
Now we have to check. We have to check and make sure. Say we have to check. Say
Wait.
clear the cards.
We have to check. No, don't clear your cards.
Oh, is another one? Yeah. Say yes. Say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Say there's another one.
There's another one.
Say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Say sí.
Sí.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, it's a tie.
Say can you both come up?
Can you both come up?
Say it's time for a tiebreaker.
It's time for a tie breaking.
All right. So for tie breaking, all we usually do is pick a card, and then do you want to do highest, biggest, or smallest? Do you want to do smallest?
Smallest.
She wants to do the smallest, so we'll let you guys just pick any card, and whoever has the smallest card wins.
Smallest?
The smallest, yeah.
I got ARPA with 53.
That's pretty big. La dama.
You.
Number 3.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Say congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, so the winner gets $25 from the Briviesco law firm. So cash prize. There you go. Congratulations.
Okay, we have two speakers before Bernie. All right, our first speaker is going to be our state director. Hey, Paloma. Give her another round of applause. Our next speaker is going to be I'm dangerous when I have the microphone. And I'm even more dangerous when I have some free time. So, one of the things that we've been talking about today is building bridges and tearing down walls. First, we tear down walls by not judging people on how well they speak Spanish or English. Can we agree to that? We also tear down walls by not letting labels divide us. Whether we identify as Latino, Latinx, Hispanic, or Chicanos. That's a throwback. It's all part of our same community. Now, as I mentioned, Lulac is nonpartisan, but we are very politically active. And there are issues that we care about. There's so many issues to be involved in. And one of those issues, I have the honor of introducing someone who has a very, very exciting project that Lulac has been a part of. Now, we've been involved in civil rights for a long, long time. And so please help me and welcome our state director, Nick Salazar.
Maria's going to go first. We're ready to start now.
Okay, so never mind. I'm sorry, Nick. All right. Next, we're going to have someone who I know pretty well. She's been a community activist for a while. She's a fighter. She's a luchadora. And she's here to introduce Bernie Sanders. Please help welcome my mom, Maria Bribriesco. I'd also like to mention that if anybody wants translation, that we're available. There's translators. We can get you a box. So when my mom or when Bernie speaks, that he'll be able to translate that for you. Okay. Hey, Joaquin. This is my little boy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I am going to not do my speech because I have my grandson here, and we're going to try to move things along. My name is Maria Cano Bribiesco, okay? And I'm a lucky woman. I am blessed. I'm blessed in so many regards. I am blessed because I'm a U.S. citizen, which brings rights and privileges and some responsibilities, and we'll talk about that. Getting informed, getting engaged, and getting the vote out. But here's the thing. I've been married for 38 years to Bill, and we have 3 wonderful adult sons. I have 7 grandchildren. That's one right here. He wanted to call Lotería. He says, when am I going to call Lotería? We said when he's 4. He's only 3.5. So I am blessed. I have 7 grandchildren. I am an attorney. My husband's an attorney. 2 of my sons are attorneys. Now my 3rd son, I got to say, he's the black sheep of the family. He went to medical school. He's a cardiac thoracic surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic. So we're doing well. It wasn't always like that. I mean, I thank God always. I thank God. I thank the universe, the higher power that takes care of all of us. I thank him for my blessings. But I want you to know a little bit about my background and about why I support Bernie. Okay? It has to do with the fact I grew up in South Texas. Okay? I grew up, my father was from a pioneer family. That means the border crossed him. He didn't cross the border. My mother was born in Mexico. She was Mexican. Okay, my dad served in the United States Army during World War II and the Korean conflict. Did that help him get a job in South Texas? No, it didn't. It did not. Our family suffered. We suffered financially. I saw my parents work hard, 10 hours a day, day in and day out, and we struggled to put food on the table. So we struggled so much that my parents decided that we were going to go up north. Vamos al norte. We were going to make money. We became migrant farm workers. That helped us. That helped us a bit. But you know what really helped us? When President Lyndon Johnson got elected, when the governmental policies were changed. President Johnson had Great Society. He had the Great Society. His idea was to take tax dollars and invest them in our community. He took the tax dollars and invested in public education. He took tax dollars and invested in science. He took tax dollars and invested in us, the people. So does that sound familiar to you? Oh, who wants to take tax dollars and put them to work for us and not the corporations? Oh, sounds familiar, doesn't it? So here we go. Because of the Great Society, I was able to go to college. I went to law school. In fact, I came to this law school, the University of Iowa. That's where I met my husband. That's where I studied hard, and I also had some good memories of the mill. Woo! And George's. Who's been to George's? Yeah, so it was some good times. But I tell you what helped? Tuition was low. I had grants. I had student loans with low interest rates, all because of governmental policies in place. And that's what we're working for, right? Because of those governmental policies, I became a lawyer. My family is successful. And I like to say we got a little tiny slice of the American pie. Yeah? And that's what we all want. We want a little slice of the American pie. Yeah, for the people. So when I was here, Ronald Reagan was president. Oh my God, I was pulling my hair out. I couldn't stand his policies. Oh, but then guess what? Bill Clinton came. And I said, woo! I said, you know what? Equilibrium. The government is going forward. We were going forward. We were progressing. Things look good. What the heck happened? Oh, we're going back. We're going in reverse. We got to put a stop to it. And so we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity here in Iowa to make our voices sound loud and clear. In February, we have the caucuses, and we need to go out and caucus. We need to caucus for the candidate that will give us what we need. We need a government that will work for us, and that is Bernie Sanders. Okay, I support Bernie Sanders because he will bring the policies that will help and lift all of us up. All of us, and that's what we need. We need a government that will work for us. Yeah, for the people. So Bernie Sanders is for the people. He's of the people. He will champion our causes. He will be our champion in the White House. So I urge all of you to get involved, okay? Get involved in our political process. Go out and caucus. Go volunteer with the Democratic Party and make sure we nominate Bernie Sanders to be our next president of the United States. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. My name is Nick Salazar, and I am the newly elected state director for the League of United Latin American Citizens of Iowa. Before I begin, I want to thank Council 308 of Iowa City for all the great work that they're doing here in Johnson County. The last Lotería event, we had a fundraiser for our brothers and sisters out in Mount Pleasant who were impacted by the raids that happened there over a year ago. Thank you. Today's event, Lotería event, they're having a fundraiser for the Lulac El Paso Victims Fund. A little over a month ago, our brothers and sisters out in El Paso were gunned down. And we're having a fundraiser for 50% of the proceeds are going to go towards that. And there's also a collection box going around for the victims who were impacted by the raids as that still continues, because the communities who were impacted by the raids, they're going to have that lasting negative impact there for quite some time. The communities aren't just the same. And that is what Lulac is about defending and serving the members of our community. This is Lulac, is the oldest and largest Latino civil rights organization. At its 90th birthday this year, many, many years of servicing and defending the rights of our Latino brothers and sisters. And 90 years later, today in 2019, that fight and that struggle still continues today. Now, all these issues we believe are important, these many, many issues that we fight for, but we believe that there's nothing more important and more powerful than your constitutional right to vote at the poll. Which is why I'm excited to announce and to share with everybody here that Lulac, Iowa is starting to launch a voter registration campaign with the goal of registering 25,000 Latinos here in the state of Iowa before the caucuses. And I tell people the last couple of weeks telling us about what we're doing and about our goals, and they look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm insane. Well, you want to know what's crazy? Families getting separated and getting deported down south of the border. You want to know what's crazy? Our brothers and sisters getting mowed down by assault weapons. You know what's crazy? Everything that's happening right now in our community, it's crazy. And when we are met with all the craziness, we need to be bold and we need to have ambitious goals when we're talking about real change in our community. We can protest, we can do a lot of organizing, but there's nothing more important and more powerful than going to the vote and having our voices heard, because it's our voice is our vote, and our vote is our voice. And that's how we're going to make change here in Iowa. With that, part of that civic engagement campaign, not only will we be registering voters, we'll also be doing mock caucuses, voter education. That way our people know how to caucus, where to caucus, and everything else that goes along with that. And another thing that we're doing is hosting presidential candidates in our events, such as here in Iowa City. With all the candidates, we're a nonpartisan organization, but we want to invite these candidates in our spaces. That way they know and they're informed about what issues that matter to us, the issues that these candidates are running on. And today, we're having such an event. We have a very special guest today, somebody who is also running a bold campaign on many issues that impact us in our community, like healthcare, education, immigration. A bold campaign, and because these issues disproportionately impacts us among the rest of the other communities. With that, it is my honor to introduce to you, and let's give Senator Sanders a warm birthday welcome here to Iowa.
Whoa. Thank you. Well, it's nice to be able to share my birthday with so many lovely people. So thank you all for being here. Let me thank Maria. Where's Maria? All right. Thank you, Maria. And Nick, thank you very much for your strong support. And let me tell you why we're going to win this election and send Donald Trump packing. We're going to send Donald Trump packing because the people of Iowa and the people of America do not want a pathological liar as President of the United States. They do not want a president who is a racist. Sorry, I have to say it, but it happens to be true. Who is a sexist, who is a xenophobe, who is a religious bigot, and I'm just getting warmed up. All right. So I think that the people of Iowa and the people of America, no matter what your point of view may be, understand you have to have a president who has a little bit of dignity and does not lie every single day. Now, let me just say to the folks who are here, my father came to the United States of America at the age of 17. He could not speak a word of English, didn't have any money, actually didn't have much education. So I am not unsympathetic to the needs of immigrants. That's the family I grew up in. And together we will end the demonization of the immigrant community in this country. I am sick and tired, and I know that you are sick and tired of having a president who is trying to divide us up. He is dividing us up based on the color of our skin. He's dividing us up based on where we were born, what our religion may be, what our sexual orientation may be. That is not the kind of president we need. We need a president, and I hope to be that president, who brings us together. And not only brings us together, but brings us together around an agenda that works for all working people and not just the 1%. So here's a little bit of what I intend to do as president. On first day, we restore the legal status through executive order of the 1.8 million young people eligible for the DACA program. Number two, we are going to pass what is long, long, long overdue, comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship for 11 million undocumented people. And we will end the ICE raids that are terrorizing so many people in this country. I was in Los Angeles a month or so ago, and I was talking to some teachers there. And in Los Angeles, about 90% of the kids in the public school system are children of color, and many of them are children of undocumented people. And what the teachers were telling me is that these children live in fear. They are traumatized by the fact that they may go home after school one day and find that their mom or their dad has been deported. That is not going to happen under a Bernie Sanders administration. We're going to end that fear. We're going to stop those raids. And we are also going to develop a border policy which is based on humane international asylum principles. And that means that the United States government will never be tearing little children out of the arms of their mothers. We will not be putting children into cages. But immigration is not the only issue out there. We are running for president because I happen to believe that health care is a human right, not a privilege. And I intend to end the absurdity. I intend to end the absurdity of the United States of America being the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people, including undocumented, as a human right. We are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, but most working people don't know that because half of our people are working paycheck to paycheck, worried what happens if their car breaks down or if they get sick. As President of the United States, I will address the issue of income and wealth inequality, where 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America. That is not the country we should be. And what we will also do is understand that if you work 40 hours a week in America, you should not be living in poverty. We're going to raise that federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. And we're going to fight for equal pay for equal work. Women deserve the same pay as men. And we're going to make it easier for workers to join unions. It seems to me that if this country 11 years ago was able to bail out the crooks on Wall Street, if Trump and his friends could give well over $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% and large profitable corporations, what we should be able to do in this country is make public colleges and universities tuition free. Every person in this country who is able to and want to get a higher education in college or in a training school should be able to do that, regardless of the income of his or her family. And I'll tell you what else we're going to do while we're on the subject. We're going to cancel all student debt in this country. Now, people say to me, my critics say that this is an expensive proposition. They're right, it is. And the way we are going to pay for it is by imposing a modest tax on Wall Street speculation. The other issue there are many other issues out there, but one issue that is of monumental importance, and I look at the children here, the little kids that we got here, and we're talking about the future of this country, these beautiful kids, their need to live in a planet that is healthy and is habitable. So we got a president who thinks climate change is a hoax. I think Donald Trump is a hoax. You like that? All right, we got a little fan here. But what I know and what you know is the scientists have told us that climate change is what we call an existential threat to this planet. In other words, if we do not act boldly and aggressively, the planet that we are leaving to these beautiful little kids here will be a planet that is increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. All of you have seen the pictures of what's going on in the Bahamas right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you know what happened in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago. And you know about the drought. I was up in Paradise, California. That was a small town. You remember that town that was burned down because of the drought in that community. That's what you're looking at. Extreme weather disturbances, forest fires, drought, acidification of the ocean, flooding, rising sea levels. That is what we're looking at. So we have got to act aggressively, and I'm very proud to tell you that we have just introduced the most aggressive and comprehensive climate change legislation ever offered by any candidate running for anything. And that legislation will create up to 20 million jobs as we transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. A couple of other issues I wanted to briefly touch on. Number one, I know here in Iowa the governor will disagree with me. That's fine. But I happen to believe that it is the women of this country who have the right to control their own bodies, not the government. Furthermore, as President of the United States, I will not be intimidated by the NRA. Years ago, this community, I learned today, I didn't know this community suffered a gun issue. And we have seen recently in Texas, Dayton, Ohio, El Paso, Texas, terrible, terrible shootings. So if elected president, we will move aggressively to pass comprehensive gun safety legislation, including including a ban on the sale and distribution of assault weapons in this country. Just one more issue that is enormously important. I can go on. There's so many issues out there. But one that we have to discuss is the fact that our criminal justice system in this country is broken. It is racist. It needs major reforms. Now, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, but it is true. We got over 2 million people in jail tonight. That is more people in jail than any other country on earth. 400,000, 20% of those people. You know why they're in jail tonight? Because they are poor and cannot afford cash bail. Can you imagine that? They have not been convicted of anything, but they are in jail because they can't afford the $500 or $1,000 they need to get bail. We are going to end cash bail. We are going to end the war on drugs. And not only move to the legalization of marijuana, but try to expunge the records of those people who have been arrested for possession of marijuana. Tell you a funny story. I was in Nevada a couple of weeks ago, and you drive down the road in Nevada, and there are these big signs on the wall. And the signs say, buy marijuana here, buy marijuana there. And I'm thinking, here you have all these corporations selling a product that people are in jail today for doing exactly the same. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, all right? So let me just conclude by saying this. Donald Trump thinks he's going to win re-election by dividing the American people up based on the color of our skin or where we were born or whatever superficial differences we may have. But we got bad news for Trump. Our campaign is about bringing the American people together around an agenda that works for all of us. So I don't have to tell anybody here that Iowa plays a very, very important role in the political process in this country. You are the first state to vote, and I want to thank many of you for the support you gave me last time around. We are in a strong position to win this state. A poll just came out today that had us a few points behind Biden, and I think we're going to win this state. So what I'm begging you is to understand, Iowa is so very important in the political process. Please come out and vote. Please get your friends and neighbors and family members to come out to vote. We win here in Iowa. I think we're really looking good in New Hampshire. We're looking good in the other early states. We win those states. We're going to win the nomination. We win the nomination. It will give all of us an enormous amount of joy to defeat the most dangerous president in American history. So I just want to, it's a great turnout tonight. It's a great turn. We got a lot of work in front of us. At the end of the day, the top 1%, they're very powerful. I know these guys. I deal with them every single day. We're fighting with them, whether it's Wall Street or the insurance companies or the drug companies, the military-industrial complex. I deal with them every day. They are powerful. They have unlimited amounts of money. That's the fact. They control, to a large degree, the economic and political life of our nation. That's the fact. But at the end of the day, you know what? 1% is 1%. And if we allow our people to come together and not be divided up, we can take on and defeat this 1%, and we can create the kind of nation that the working people of this country deserve. Thank you all very much.